Now, how to tag entire categories of words or even remove tags if you wish. And why is it even so important? Well, say for example, you have a huge card deck, which you in retrospect would like to give a certain tag, which you should have given in retrospect beforehand. But now, since the card deck is already done, so many categories have been established, you want to add yet another category in order to make it tighter and even more organized. I'm going to show you right now how it can be pulled off. Now, for this, we have a look at our Anki folder one more time, and we go to the Browse section. Here, I can give you this specific example, which I did. In my Chinese folder, you can see there's over 7,000 entries, and I wanted to basically tag 2 textbooks, which I majorly used in order to learn modern Chinese, modern Mandarin. And by the way, just as a quick showing of you, so these are the 2 textbooks. Like you can see it's a lot of pages, both of them. One got 60 lessons and the other one got 20 lessons. So there's a huge amount of vocabulary involved in them. And how to tag them in order that I can allot my vocabulary, my notes to the particular textbook. Now, I had them already, all the notes I had already in Anki. This was already done. And I already had tagged them according to the individual lessons. This was then, again, already done. So I could, for example, just tag like lesson 1. So tag :1 is for the vocabulary of the first book of lesson 1, and then lesson 2, and then 3, and so on, right? And if I were to look for the second book, for the vocabulary or the notes of the second book, I went to wrote B and then 1, and this is how I tagged it or this is how it was tagged. So the first book was just with numerals, and the lessons of the second book was with the letter B and then the numerals afterwards. Now I got them a little bit apart, so I knew from which lessons, according to which lessons from which book it was originally. Now I want to create an overarching category so that I have one category for all the vocabulary for all the notes of the first book and one category for all the notes for all the vocabulary of the second book. And how did I do it? I could have gone through the whole thing by myself, like note for note. And this would have taken me a while because, as I found out later on, in the first book, there was 1,459 notes, which I needed to tag. And the second book had even more, 2,294 notes. Altogether, this came to a whopping 3,753 notes. This would have taken me roughly about at least 2 weeks, maybe a month of tagging. I got it done in 1 hour, both of them. How did I do it? This is super powerful, guys. Basically, I went here, I tagged, for example, here, tag :1, and I wrote 1, and you can see 14 cards are selected. So this is the lesson 1 of the first book. Then I went to notes and add tags. And this little window came up, and here I wrote the name. I right now have the category. I wrote the name of the author, my Chinese teacher, Cremerius, and then I tagged them accordingly. And you will see now 0 notes will be updated. Why 0 notes will be updated? Because I previously already tagged them, but I'm just showing you how I did it. So now I've tagged every card, and you can see this here down below. Cremerius is always one of the tags. Cremerius, 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 Cremerius. And I went through this, like for the lesson 2 as well, and did the same thing again, like notes, add tags, and then wrote the name of the author, and then pressed OK. The same thing I did for the second book. for example, B1, 75 nodes. I went to nodes, wrote so tag colon B1, then went to nodes and wrote the author. The author's last name was Zhu. So I tagged them accordingly, and again, 0 nodes were updated. Why? Because I already did this previously. And here again, everything you can see Zhu in every card. Everything has been tagged accordingly. Now the cool thing is, not only can I search for the individual lessons, but also I can then search for the entire book. Now if I write Grammarius, so this is the author of the first book, and now I can grab them all together, and then I have them 1,459 nodes, as I told you previously. And the second one, 2,294, as I again told you previously. So if, for example, I would like to share my notes with other students, I can, and I do this within 3 minutes because I just grab all of the notes. I created an overriding category for every note. And yeah, again, the first book had 60 lessons altogether, and the second book had 20 lessons, and altogether then 80 lessons. And I just went through it very quickly, and I grabbed the notes lesson by lesson very effectively, and I was done in under 1 hour, 3,753 notes. Another thing which you can do, another example which I can tell you, in my Sanskrit folder, I have, of course, created different categories, among of which, of course, the adjective tag colon adjective, ADJ for adjective, and I have 1,681 notes tagged. Now, I even created a subcategory of the adjectives, which is called possessive adjectives. So ADJ, POSS, and I tagged them with 132 notes. I only tagged them as an adjective, possessive adjective. I didn't tag them initially, additionally as adjectives. So when I look for adjectives, it will exclude these subcategory of possessive adjectives, even though they are essentially adjectives, just a subcategory. In retrospect, it was a little bit silly not to add this additional tag to them, because if I tag adjectives, if I search for adjectives, I would like to have all the adjectives included, including the subcategory of possessive adjectives, which is much smaller. Now I can do this very quickly. To fix this mistake, I have now here the subcategory of possessive adjectives, 132 notes, and I go to Control A, marked everything. 132 out of 132 are marked. I go to add tags, and then with this here I write A, D, and this category already comes up. This is my adjective category. I add this, and you can see here 131 notes was updated, because one of the notes luckily I did it already individually, but if I were to do it individually for all of them, it would take me some time. Then you can see now everything has the category possessive adjective as well as adjective. And yeah, just by a quick search, it has been updated for everyone. And now if I just look for adjectives, they must have increased by 131 notes. So now we have 1,812 notes. So this is how you can quickly add another tag for a category which you already established. By the same token, you can same thing with my adverbs. I will do this not now. I have I can show you quickly. I have like 25 different categories of adverbs. They're all specific according to the cases and their function. However, I didn't really tag the overriding category of just adverbs, which I should have done. A little bit silly of me. This I won't do right now because it will take a little bit of time. It will take me maybe half an hour, or even a little bit less, maybe 20 minutes. But then I tagged all of them, all the 25 categories, and I can be sure I have not any category included, and then have this overriding category in which all of the subcategories are included. So then you can, in retrospect, as I said before, structure it very well. Moreover, if I wanted to, I want to show you in theory, you can even remove tags. So if I say, okay, even though I have this possessive adjective category, but I just want to save them as adjectives, I just say it now, hypothetically speaking, I can now mark let's just mark the possessive adjectives. Again, 132. If I mark everything, 132 are marked. Notes, and I can even go to remove tags. And I write down the tag which I would like to remove, and it will, as I added it previously, I can also remove it again in case I did a mistake, or in case after some time one category doesn't seem to be very useful for me anymore. Right now, I'm not going to do it because I like this category very much. So I go to cancel, but this is how you can do it. And again, super effective, super quick. And afterwards, the more categories generally you add, this is my experience, the better you can do the search, and even quick searches and cross searches, extremely effective tools, which really, like, this is so far beyond your like normal brain capacity, because like with any quick search you have immediately like 20, 30, 100, 200 or 1,000 examples, and very nicely ordered, and it gives you so much drive and so much so much fun also in your so much joy in your studies. And even this very minute detail, you can research your vocabulary and your notes. Guys, if you have any questions and comments, drop them down below. And if you found this video helpful as I found it, then just smash the like button right now. If you didn't, rest assured, they got a button for this too. In either case, subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you never miss a video when I put one out. All right, guys, catch you at the top.